What the hell are we doing? That's how I feel every time I come to Sedona. Today I'll be taking you up Coffeepot Rock in Sedona. We decided to park at the Jim Thompson trailhead to avoid the logistics of parking at the tiny Soldiers Pass trailhead. Also, we get to walk by the Devil's Kitchen, which is this massive sinkhole. The initial collapse happened in the 1880s, but there was a second collapse in 1989. We're gonna head for the back of Coffeepot Rock, where the route starts up a 150-foot chimney. As usual, please leave feedback in the comments, things you like about this video and things you don't. It's unbelievably helpful as I try to improve the quality for you. We did find somebody's rope hanging out of the chimney. More on that later. Let's get started. One of the harder parts of this chimney was actually getting started. You'll see how it kind of just slopes out. There's really nothing to grab onto here, so I put a number 5 in, immediately swapping it with a number 3 because I wanted to keep my bigger pieces for the rest of the pitch. And then because there's really nothing to grab onto, it was just a bunch of chicken wanging to get in there. This is crazy, dude. What the hell are we doing? That's how I feel every time I come to Sedona. I said this because in the route description, it starts with a nice casual outing, not much technical climbing, and I'm immediately hit with this awkward chicken wing start.
Flipped.
Thankfully, none of this pitch is super sustained. The 150-foot chimney is broken up into 3 distinct 30 to 40-foot sections with large ledges for rest. Here's the first resting ledge, and this is actually where the final rappel is, off to the right there. Since you can't rappel 150 feet with 170-meter rope, you can use this intermediate wrap anchor.
Little perp. That's a big perp.
Coming up to the second ledge here, this part was actually kind of sketchy. My last pro was 10 or 15 feet below me. I had to kind of crawl out of the chimney on the left and tiptoe carefully across. Here you can see that rope sticking out of the chimney. Turns out it had gotten stuck when a previous party went to rappel and pull the rope down. It just got really twisted and they couldn't get it down. We did manage to take it out. I made a Facebook post, found the owner, and actually shipped it back to him. This part was probably the most like real climbing, except you kind of still had the chimney, so while you were kind of pulling on these holds and ledges and stuff, you could still stem across for stability and kind of inch your way up.
Off belay, Joel.
At this point, we're up in the saddle between these two towers, and we need to rappel off the other side in order to get to some 3rd and 4th class terrain. On Mountain Project, this short rappel is actually known as pitch 2, and this walk over to where we decide to rope up is technically considered pitch 3 on Mountain Project. Most of this is just unprotected scrambling, but we did decide to rope up right here because it got a little bit too technical. A couple things to mention: the second rappel takes you back down to this point before we roped up, and this whole section where we're roped up and then down this ramp is considered pitch 4. At the bottom of this ramp, you'll find a 2-bolt anchor to bring your second over. Pitch 5 is this short little 30-foot section up to another 2-bolt anchor. It was a little tricky off the deck, a couple spicy moves. I think this is listed as 5.9 minus or something. So, you know, it's well protected with bolts, but don't let your guard down. Now from this anchor all the way to the top is considered pitch 6. Again, for this pitch, it's also 5.9 minus, but it's only really describing the first few feet off the anchor. I think it was like 10 feet or so, which I did not record, so apologies for that. And then most of it's just this scrambling up the face. I decided to go left here and go up around the left side. I think that was a mistake. It was a little chossier on the back and the protection was not very good. I'm gonna drop an orange line on the map right now so that you can see the path I should have taken. Here we are at the summit. We decided to cut out the old anchor. It was looking a little sun bleached. Dropped some new webbing in there.
Off rappel.
So to get down with 170 meter rope, it's just one rappel off the summit. Scramble around the left side until you find the chain anchor. Take one full length 70 meter rappel, tie your knots in the end. Once you're off rappel, hike back over to the bottom of that little baby rappel out of the chimney.
Good.
And then lead back up it. Then you can do 2 super uncomfortable rappels back down that initial first pitch chimney to get back to your bags. Overall, I'm not really sure who I would recommend this route to. Probably people that really like chimneys. There isn't much technical climbing beyond that first pitch. If you're looking for the novelty of getting to the top of Coffeepot Rock, or you're just looking for a really cool adventure, then definitely go for it.
This is the worst rappel ever.
If you made it this far, thank you so much. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. As I'm editing this, I'm actually about to head out up to Sedona again this weekend for a 4-pitch 5.9 called Mars Attacks. That one's going to have quite a bit more technical climbing in it, so I will see you in that video.